Hello Nuno, and I'm so happy to be able to talk to you. Could you start off by presenting yourself, who you are and where you work?
Yes, of course. My name is Nuno Guerreiro. I'm from Portugal. I'm responsible for the Accounts Payable process in the Sonae Shared Services Center. Sonae is a Portuguese company, it's the biggest private group in Portugal, non-financial group with businesses in many different areas. Retail is the core business of Sonae, with more than 1,000 stores in Portugal but also in Spain. And I try to ensure that the P2P process, and I'm talking about the administrative and financial process, works in a more efficient way.
And you sit within the Shared Service Center. Could you share what you've been doing along the purchase to pay process and maybe some metrics, what you've achieved?
Our main goal is to have a touchless process, which means that if we receive electronic invoices and if we don't have any manual intervention in the invoice matching process, we can have a completely automated process. So this is our major goal. So we have established a strategy with 3 points. The first one is to have a completely paperless process, not only with EDI invoices but also with an OCR platform to handle all the paper that we receive from suppliers. So at this moment, our main flow, which is the goods flow, we receive on that flow more than 92% of invoices in EDI. So this is a very important goal for us. Another point of our strategy is to have a completely automated invoice matching process, which means that we don't have differences between our POs and our invoices. And when I'm talking about differences, I'm talking about price differences or quantity differences. So in that part, in our goods process, we have about 85% of automatic matching. It means that there's a lot of work that we don't do. And this is very important in our process efficiency and of course in our resources. The third point in our strategy is to have an end-to-end process controlled in our systems. So I can say right now that if we receive an electronic invoice from one of our suppliers, if we don't have differences between the invoice and our PO and reception, our systems can treat that invoice in an automatic way. So no one will touch the invoice until payment. So this is a very important step for us.
You're mentioning POs. That means that almost all of your invoices have a PO. Do you have a non-PO, no PO, no pay structure, or how do you ensure that you get the POs running?
For the biggest process, the goods process, we have worked with POs since the beginning. So to have an idea, more than 80% of our documents are for the goods process. For the other ones, since 3 years ago, we implemented a new platform, which is SAP SRM, to control all the remaining purchasing process. It means that for all of them, now we are using POs for all the purchasing processes, including services and fixed assets. So it's very important for us to control the process since the beginning, and the PO is a critical part of it. If we have a PO, like what we had in the goods process, we can match that PO with the reception and with the invoice, and of course that we can bring more efficiency to the process as a whole.
Accounts Payable sits at the very last of the purchase to pay process. How have you been working with the upstream part of the process, like procurement and other stakeholders in the different organizations? Have you worked a lot with change management and getting them to understand the why and the how?
Yes, of course. It's a very important point. Communication is critical, So, as you said before, we are in the last part of the process, but of course that we need to communicate with the other people and the other areas. So the first thing, they need to know how the process is treated from the beginning to the end. Because if we bring some frontiers to the process, it's not efficient. So we work a lot with, especially with the commercial areas, with the sourcing areas, showing them what the process is until the end and what should be done by those areas to control the process and to bring also more efficiency to the whole process. So communication is critical. We have personal meetings almost every month. We have newsletters. We have indicators that we share with them. So we try to bring them to the process, and we try to be part of the business and not a shared service center, which is a different area which is not included in the business. We want to be part of the business, and I think we are part of the business.
So do you have any advice that you would like to share with either procurement organizations or shared service centers that really want to, increase the level of touchless processes, which I guess is the ultimate goal here? Do you have any advice you would like to give them?
Yes, work a lot in the process efficiency. So the paperless thing is a very important one. The automation in the invoice matching. So trying to get all the purchasing process in a three-way matching process. So every process should start with a PO. This is very important, not only for the efficiency of the process, but also for control. And the third one is communication with the other areas in the company, and try to be part of the business and not just a strange area that no one knows, and that is also critical for the business.
Thank you very much, and good luck with future projects.
Thank you very much.